There's only one book that changed my entire social life. I remember a while ago when I couldn't get into social situations and I couldn't get completely blank and I don't know what to say. But it was not long ago when I came across this work by Dale Carnegie. It was fantastic work. The book taught me how to connect with the people, be more likable, win this, and improve personal and professional relationships. And in this video, I'm going to go over all the key lessons in this book. And number one is become genuinely interested with other people. This is the most important lesson in the book. Dale Carnegie believed if you want to make people like you have to become genuinely interested in them. This means listening to them attentively, asking them questions, and finding a common ground. If you want to win people over, you need to give before you can take. People become interested in us when we show genuine interest in what they do, and this can happen at any situation. Number two is smile. And Dale Carnegie states that a smile is a powerful way to make a good impression, and in this case, the first impression. And it shows that you are friendly and approachable. That's because action speaks louder than words, where a smile can go a long way, believe me. When you genuinely smile, you are simply saying that, I like you. Tell me more. I am glad to see you. And if smiling is something that does not come naturally to you, force yourself to smile by controlling your inner thoughts. Happiness depends on your inner dialogue that you have with yourself most of the time, and not what you have, who you are, where you are, or what you are doing. Happiness is about what you think about frequently. And when you radiate a genuine smile, it becomes like the sun breaking through dark clouds. It really works, believe me. The third lesson is remembering people's names. First names, in that case. And this is just a simple way to show that you care about someone, especially for strangers who you met once or twice, and they just get an impression that you remember their name. It means you care about them. Listen to this. The average person loves to hear their name pronounced correctly more than other names in the world put together, because a name is a person's ownership and it belongs to no one else except for the person individually. It sets the individual apart by making them unique. And when you remember their names, you witness magic unfold before your own eyes. I have seen this miracle happen most of the time. I happen to come across people who even they are not trained to greet me, but the moment I just mention their name, they like smile to me, they become friendly. It works magic. The fourth technique is becoming a good listener. And one of the best way to make people like you is to be a good listener. Believe me, there are few people who are good listeners. And it takes as much skill to master the art of communication as a good speaker as it takes to be a good listener. This means to being attentive, and this means to paying attention to what others are saying, not interrupting, and asking good questions to show the other person that you are listening. And there are few techniques to show the other person that you are genuinely listening. Number one is asking good questions. Number two is body posture, the way you are looking at the person. That is keeping eye contact. Eye contact shows clearly that you are listening carefully. And the other technique is avoid any kind of interruption when the other person is speaking, such as receiving her phone call. Just pause the call until the other person finishes speaking. And remember that To be a good conversationalist, you first have to master the art of good and attentive listening. And you can do this by asking good questions that others would enjoy answering, which would encourage them to talk more about themselves and their accomplishments. If you think about it, people in general are more interested in themselves and their wants and problems than anything you have to offer. I have repeated this severally in this video. The other important technique is avoid arguments. If you find yourself in an argument, the best way and the best thing to do is avoiding it. Dale Carnegie simply states that you can't win an argument because when you win an argument, you lose. When you lose an argument, you lose. You just can't win an argument. And the best way of dealing with an argument is avoiding it. This does not mean that you have to agree with everything that the other person is saying, but it does mean that you shouldn't try to win the argument. The other technique is praise people sincerely. And let me tell you this, people have to be praised. When you see somebody doing something well, the person knows that he or she has done it well. Give people compliments when they are dressed well. Praise people, praise your parents, praise your mother when she cooks good food. Praise your friend when he or she does something good to you. Don't skip a praise to someone. And the next technique is let the other person save face. Let's remember this. Everyone makes mistakes. If somebody makes a mistake, don't embarrass them. Instead, help them to save face by being understanding and supportive. Let's say you are in a group and someone makes a mistake. Don't embarrass or tell the person the mistake publicly. Instead, you can just keep the mistake pending and just later you can let the person correct the mistake by speaking to him or her privately. And the last technique and also important is to be a leader. This does not mean that you have to be a boss. It simply means that you should be someone who can influence others. To be a leader, you need to be able to get people to see things your way. You have to master the ability of articulating your thoughts clearly and speaking concisely so as to convince people, so as to influence people. You have to master this act. And these are the most important lessons from this book by Dale Carnegie. Let me assure you, they simply changed my life and they will do for you. Just make sure that you apply the lessons to day-to-day socialization with other people, with connection with other people, and they will simply change your life. Let's help each other in becoming better. Big up.